All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. A lot to dive into and discuss in today's video, and I recorded it. This is probably like my 13th time or so because it is so meticulous and I've got to get it right, and I keep screwing up, and I probably could just edit it all together, but who cares? At this point, we're just going to try it all in one take again. But we've got roster news, roster drama, roster updates, roster rumors in today's video with DarkZero, Sentinels, Meat Lovers, Pro League spots up for grabs. Pro League spots may have been lost because of the roster drama. Why did the roster drama even happen to begin with? And who is DarkZero going to be looking for their new third? All in today's video. Of course, if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related, then of course like the video, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's dive into it. First thing, a little bit of a smaller topic wanted to make mention of, coming from 9 Lives Esports. These guys have been playing in the Oversight Scrims Lobby B for a short time, and I think this is why tier 2 Apex Legends esports can get a bad rap sometimes. But 9 Lives posted that they were basically getting a new roster, got Mav FPS on board and all this stuff. Then just weeks later, they drop them already, and it's because they dropped another guy, and then basically they didn't get better after dropping them, couldn't find a new fit, so now they're announcing a whole new roster. And these rosters in tier 2 that last for a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, this is why a lot of these guys don't even take it serious, because even though you're signed to a team, you know, it's almost like it doesn't even matter. You know, you're just basically changing your team name at that point, because you can just so flippantly go to another org, another team, and it just seems like, you know, nothing is really taking place or no repercussions are happening for it also. So interesting conversation to say the least. Also, Preslyy, former E8. Obviously, you guys probably know Preslyy played at the World Championship at ALGS Year 2. No longer part of Noxious Esports. Noxious has recently had some roster drama as well, or not roster, well, as their owner or whoever he was, Slinky, decided to leave the scene and take all the esports funding, all the sponsorship money and all of this stuff, and nobody was getting paid. None of the tournament winners were getting paid. Of course, Preslyy decided to not sign with them again, and I don't think many people were too surprised by that. Now, here's where the crazy stuff starts to take place. Here's where people start to get really confused. I'm going to try my best to explain it in depth and keep it organized as possible. First off, RKN posted this last night on Twitter that he's looking for a team / looking for two for Pro League qualifiers. You may be thinking, what in the world? Sentinels does have a Pro League spot right now. However, if RKN is no longer part of the Sentinels roster with the majority of the team, then RKN is by himself. Therefore, he does not have a Pro League spot any longer. Therefore, he's going to have to get it again through Pro League qualifiers with a new team, unless he joins another team that already has a Pro League spot, or if he can make a new Pro League spot with this new team, of course. So that's where it started. Number one. Number two, we move on to Meat Lovers. Tech also getting into some roster updates once again, as he says, I can't help but feel used again. GG's, go next. Lux basically is still with Meat Lovers. However, Zapto is no longer with the Meat Lovers, and it looks like Zapto may have been poached once again based upon the keyword usage of can't help but feel used again. Now, shortly after this happened, actually shortly before this, I knew that this was happening. I heard that this was happening, but I thought this has got to be stupid rumor. There's no way this actually happens, right? And the reason is because I also heard this rumor, and I thought there's just no way. DarkZero, according to sources, are looking to acquire Koyful or Zapto as their new third for ALGS Year 4. Now, I think obviously at the eye, you would think Koyful getting on this roster, it's game over, right? There's just no way Koyful is going to lose on DarkZero, because these guys are just so good. Zero is so good, Jin Burton's so good, Koyful so good. However, I've heard that Koyful has also expressed interest in not playing for a roster or an organization or an IGL that has that certain mentality that your prominent pros do, like Sweet and Hal and Zero. And there's nothing wrong with the way that obviously Sweet, Hal, and Zero like to IGL, but they're a little bit more passionate. They're a little bit more like, you know, force and blunt, and they like to really speak loud and, like I said, very passionately. And so because of that, Koy has basically, to my understanding, has expressed knowledge in the past that he wants to play with someone who's a little bit more calm, relaxed, and not all up in your face and not calling you out, or hostile environment, I guess. And so that's why I thought, well, maybe Koyful wouldn't even be a good fit for DarkZero to begin with. However, it doesn't mean that Koyful might not be looking at this and say, you know, look, despite what I think, we could easily win just about every tournament, because look how good this roster could be. But at the same time that I heard Koyful, I heard one source say Koyful, one source said Zapto. I thought there's no way that Sentinels is splitting up, and then 20 minutes later, here we go. Boom, the Sentinels roster change happened. Boom, the Meat Lovers change happened. I don't know where this information came from, but it was very accurate, and that's why obviously I was shocked to see it. So we move on into the Sentinels, you know, and Meat Lovers lineup, because they could obviously be losing their Pro League spot, and the reason is because I told you guys at the beginning about RKN and how he's not with the majority of the team anymore. And then also the meat lovers getting the invite the way that they did, they would need to maintain their roster. And because now that they received the invite and now that the roster is changing after the invite, a new rule would have to take place. And here's what insiders have said. According to the insiders, these new rosters would basically have to be evaluated by the league ops manager known as Tab. And basically he would evaluate these rosters and he would say, yes, you deserve to get invited. No, we don't think we can re-invite you. So even though they may be kind of temporarily losing their pro league spot right now, they could still get re-invited based upon the discretional invites that Apex has implemented into year 4. Now they did have discretional invites into ALGS year 3. However, those were only 2 invites. This time they removed the number 2 and it seems like they can kind of have a little bit more maneuverability, I guess, around this rule set. And so that would open the window that if a roster is built that's strong enough that makes more sense to have in pro league, even though some of these rosters may be forfeiting their pro league spot and opening the door for someone else, it does mean that they can re-evaluate, resubmit, and get back in under this crazy, strange technicality. So very interesting update, obviously, to say the least, on what's going on. But I still found it crazy to know that DarkZero could be looking to acquire Koyful or Zapto in their ALGS year 4 lineup. I'm trying to think who would make the most sense. I think Koyful would just be the top tier talent to go after, but Zapto may make more sense as far as the team dynamic goes if Koyful has expressed in the past that he wants to play in a more chilled environment and not necessarily the scream and the holler and the what are you doing, the calling out and all that stuff. So I don't know, just interesting stuff. You got to remember Koy is a young guy, 16 years old, so of course there's going, maybe even 17 now, so there's going to be a little bit more of other factors that play into this. Interested to see what you guys have to say on this, to say the least. I mean, meat lovers getting a roster change was not in my bingo card this early. I thought that obviously Tech had maybe seen enough drama, maybe finally he would get back into some more stability. Not going to happen though, sadly enough. And then also seeing Sentinels change was a little bit shocking. I knew that there was some drama behind it, but I thought that surely they would be able to stick it out for a little bit longer. Not going to happen though. Also wanted to mention, coming from the Oxygen Esports lineup, this was earlier this morning, Thornton Smash, their manager, posted that he was no longer going to be managing this squad anymore as he's taking a step back, and it looks like from all of Apex Esports. So basically Thornton made it seem like it was more personal matters, and that's why he's going to go back to spend more time with his wife, which is obviously commendable. You can't really blame him. However, he also shared some shocking information that I think a lot of people were not expecting, that he apparently did not get paid for any of this and that he was not receiving any compensation as his role for the manager. But he did say, nor did I even wish to. He felt like his role as a content creator brought so much value and all of this stuff, and so that's why, you know, they enjoyed their time while it lasted over there. But obviously it's a very tasking job. It's a lot of mental, you know, availability, and to not get paid for it is going to feel really weird also. But I know it was a crazy experience. Interested to see what you guys have to say about all the roster news, drama, updates in today's video, and the rumors. Where do you think Koy will go? Do you think DarkZero will get Koy? Do you think they will get Zapto? Which one makes the most sense for them to go after? Interested to see what you guys have to say down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.